Breathing heavy, I try to get to my feet. Although the pain in my knees feels crippling, I suck it up and limp away, eager to put as much distance between me and the fat-free carcass chock full of LSD behind me. I know that she just tried to gut me, but I can't help but feel a pang of sadness at her fate. I can't help but empathize with the misery she tried to escape by drowning herself in an intoxicated stupor. Now that I think about it, neither the drugs nor the blood are hard things to come by nowadays. We, the people of the Octagon, live in shitty times. Always have, ever since this prison was built. Oh, shit, my bad. Octagon, prison. I guess you guys need a little bit of explanation. See, this story goes back to King Cole Myron the Fair. Monarch to all explored lands. Whatever the fuck that means. See, because his story starts off like one of those cutesy little picture books, you know the ones I'm talking about? Where every day's a picnic, where the sun's got a smiley face on it, where a cat and a rabbit are playing hide and go seek. Well, this story starts off with these people. You know, those who had an emperor who wasn't an asshole dictator, with a family of kids who weren't scheming against each other. I know, sounds hard to believe, because when you looked around, you saw nothing but happy people at all levels of society, worshipping whatever, governing however, boning whomever. It looked really nice, kind of like every day is a picnic. But then suddenly, it starts to dawn on you that the sun, it's burning a little bit too brightly. The picnic stopped, people aren't laughing anymore. And that is the moment when your eyes snag onto the cat and the rabbit, because the cat, he's not playing with the rabbit anymore, no. He's chewing and tearing out her throat. Because my friend, this is the moment when you realize that this story has just taken a dramatic turn for realism. Because that was the day when the royal courthouse was bombed and an entire race was damned. Everyone, save the king's youngest son, died. The immense burden of governing the empire was thrust onto the shoulders of the frail Rogan, still traumatized by the cruel tragedy that just took everybody he ever loved. The adolescent grew unstable. The assassination had sparked a fierce vendetta in him. Anyone responsible was going to pay. In his pursuit of vengeance masquerading as justice, he developed a strong resentment towards anyone who disregarded authority. In his eyes, society would feel no pain if there were none who could cause it. So welcome to his final solution. All public contractors were ordered to abandon all assignments and focus completely on carrying out his madness. They were to erect Rogan's Divide. I've never personally seen it, but one thing everyone who still has a pulse knows for a fact, that wall cannot be breached. The divide runs along 8 geographical features, circumventing off a massive chunk of his kingdom that he called the Octagon. Rogan ordered his army to arrest anyone who had ever been charged with any illegal offense, whether it be serial homicide or disorderly conduct. But you know what the fucked up thing is? He did this along with their family. See, because the crazy bastard believed that criminal instinct was hereditary and that weeding out any traces of delinquency was the only way his subjects could prosper. It was only for them he cared about. You know, the people who were never caught doing anything bad. As for all the potential criminals, they were to be exiled inside the Octagon. Estimates suggest that 15 million were dragged towards the prison, but such was the merciless conviction with which Rogan carried out his mission that only a few thousand survived this trip. These people, my forefathers, these were the first of the incarcerated. Rogan is probably long dead by now. That psycho bastard intended for the incarcerated and their descendants to be forever exiled inside the Octagon. As long as his divide held, we animals in our spawn would forever remain in his cage, in this cage. No rules, no consequences. Social predators quickly became the alpha species, preying off the weak at their whim. And although some attempted to harness the anarchy and establish some sort of legal infrastructure, a house made of cowpats is still just a big pile of shit. These easily corrupted forces became mere puppets for whoever who could pay off their pretense of integrity. Over a century has passed, but not much has changed. Everything is owned by the 4 regions. Every village, town, and city enclosed by the divide is owned by these rival crime syndicates. Smiling through their teeth, they claim they want nothing more but to peacefully coexist with each other and extend a plea of relief beyond Rogan's divide. You buy any of that bullshit? Me neither. They love the sheer chaos strangling us. They fucking thrive off it. That's the main reason why this city is the epitome of all shitholes. Since all 4 regions control significant portions of the city, the competition here is palpable. Turf wars break off spontaneously. Gang-employed enforcers swarm the streets, harassing indiscriminately for coin or pleasure. Those dickheads are the reason I'm playing Tarzan on these stupid roofs right now. If they bag-checked me and found the dynamite I'm packing, they'd probably light the fuse and shove it up my urethra. Rain's picking up. I'm cold and sore, but I can't afford to slow down. Shivering, I pull out some stale bread and chew on it. As I continue clambering across Winston's rickety rooftops, the mush slowly sweetens. However, the thought that it's probably going to be my last meal doesn't really help the flavor. I try to think positively, but shit, man, who am I kidding? Realistically, there is no fucking way I'm gonna get away with this. Nobody has ever got away with stealing from a region's private stash. The sun's barely up and the L in my luck has already turned into an F over a dozen times. If that is any sign of what's to come, then I'm an idiot to think that today's gonna be any different. Winston is roughly split between all 4 regions. A quarter goes to the Yakuza, the Frozen Dragon clan, a quarter goes to Benny Bartlett's boys, and the rest is split between the 4th House and Kyle fucking Zillan. I live above our shop in East Winston, which is dominated by the Yakuza. And although we don't swear any personal loyalty towards the Frozen Dragon clan, the gangs that harass us do. So I decided to move my pickpocketing field trips to Kyle Zillan's domain. Now, one day while I was out and exercising my decision to identify as an asshole, I overheard several small-time gang leaders boasting about the regent himself had handpicked them for a heist. Now, I thought that they were lying through their teeth, but they didn't have teeth. They had fucking gold fronts. Even enforcers can't scrounge up that kind of luxury. So then I asked myself, why would Kyle Zillan pay street thugs, whom he had no connection to do a job, when he had qualified professionals who could probably do it way better? And then it hit me. Zillan was afraid. He didn't want the heist being traced back to him. And who is the only person that a region is afraid of? That's right. Another region. Zillan was about to screw over one of the other 3. One of the other regions. I should have dropped it there and just continued with pickpocketing. But I was desperate, man. Aniello was circling me and I was nowhere near ready to pay him. So I decided to dig a little deeper. And courtesy of drunk idiots and bribes, I found out just how big this thing is, and fuck me, is it big. So lately, sweet old Benny Bartlett's been supplying black tar heroin at heavily discounted prices to local dealers on Zillan's turf. Now, by undercutting the local region and snatching his black market share, Bartlett hopes to bankrupt him and force him out of Winston. Now, what he's going to do is the city's waste disposal system involves countless intertwining streams along which garbage is rolled out on felt ferries. The profits Bartlett makes off his adversary's turf are lugged out every couple of months along Mickey's Canal back to his domain. Today is that day. And according to my intel, today is also the day Kyle fucking Zillan strikes and tries to rape Bartlett off his cash. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. The only difference is that I don't have a well-supplied army of goons backing me up. Not a very good difference, I know. Noon, huh? Okay, I'm on schedule. I've just crossed into Zillan's territory. Now I just gotta get to street level. Breathing hard, I survey the building below me. It's a half-built construction site, but there's no crew working today. Okay, that's good. So I plan my descent down the incomplete structure, making sure Ghost doesn't corner me into a position that I can't get out of. I secure my kit to my shoulder, do a couple of stretches, and mutter some encouragement to myself. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. As if lack of confidence was ever the problem. I always thought that a lack of brains was always more of a... Okay, stop it. Just focus. Okay? Before vertigo can overpower my resolve, I jump. I land onto a thick metal beam suspended by a couple of cables. However, my weight causes my footing to sway. Ghost guides me along the girder, but with each step, the narrow platform starts to oscillate more and more dangerously. Okay, wait. Reaching for the edge, I wait for the beam to reach the end of its swing and jump onto a lower girder. Ghost lands me perfectly balanced onto the center of the beam. Okay, this is not going too bad. What was that? My head snaps up and... Fuck! One of the fucking cables is just snapped. As gravity stretches the remaining few even thinner, it snickers me to haul ass. Oh no! I was just fucking enjoying the scenery! Hastily, I transition from full of shit to shitless. I scramble to the end of the beam. Oh shit! The metal rains onto my platform, desperately trying to keep from succumbing to the crashes of violent turbulence. I realize I am literally hanging by a thread. I find myself wrapped around a slippery beam, which is incidentally dangling from one rapidly thinning cable. I need to do something, but the adrenaline rush is clouding my thoughts. Trying to ignore the pounding in my head, I start to shift my weight backwards and forwards, hoping to get it to start to swing. The girder finally begins to follow my lead. Although the metal cable is winding dangerously, I carry on, hoping that the oscillation brings me close enough to grab onto a wall. Almost succumbing to the rain and sweat, I try to readjust my grip. Bad fucking move! Gravity prizes me off the beam and yanks me down. Falling a good 2 stories, I throw my hands onto a holding on a nearby wall, but I'm too fast. Although I can't hold on, and it just feels like my hand got smacked by a fucking baseball bat. My pain does slow me down slightly, and that is all Ghost needs. I dig my hand into the wall again, this time holding on, but my moment of relief is short-lived. A distinct sound rings from above me. My head jerks up and my fear is confirmed. Plummeting down at me in a rusty red blur, I instinctively kick off from the wall. It suddenly explodes under the beam's immense weight. As if things can't get any worse, Ghost wears off. I guess it makes sense, because I haven't really prepared for competitive diving into fucking concrete. I'm accelerating downwards at a bowel-churning speed. As objects race past me, they start to merge into a huge blur. I smash straight through a wooden construction platform and feel myself get tangled in a length of thick rope. Before I can even process the blow, gravity bludgeons me in the stomach by pulling me through another metal beam. I lie disoriented on the beam, crippled by too much pain to do anything. But I know what's coming. I see the metal pillar with all the debris it scraped down, racing towards me. Cussing, I loosen my grip and slide off. However, before I fall more than a couple of meters, a sharp jerk upwards across my arms and neck brings me to a sudden stop. I look down and realize that fortune has once again vomited into my plate. The rope I'm tangled in got snagged on the last beam, leaving me dangling 10 stories above solid fucking ground. It's tightening around my throat. Screw moving, I can fucking barely breathe. The dwindling oxygen supply, however, is the last of my worries. There are still 5 fucking tons of stonework seconds away from pulverizing me. I desperately reach around into my bag. Anything! Fucking give me anything! I feel something sharp biting in my palm. It's a jagged glass shard. It must have gotten stuck at some point while I was imitating a pachinko ball down this machine. I viciously start hacking away at the coils binding me. The beam is mere meters above me. The wreckage from its destructive descent is tailing, annihilating anything its forerunner might have missed. The glass slashes through the noose around my neck, but I'm suddenly jerked up again. Fuck me! Really? My right ankle is also caught up in the rope. To make matters worse, the abrupt stop made me just drop the glass. Someone up there really fucking wants me dead! Desperately, I crunch up and start viciously biting at the rope, which might as well be a noose. Come on! Although dusty fibers are getting stuck in my teeth, I fiercely persist. The metal shower is almost upon me. I give one final tug. Come on! Wind is whipping through my hair. I'm falling, but so is the wreckage above me. It's only seconds away from catching up and beating me into hamburger. I bounce off a rain watershed and begin to slide off. There, drain pipe, that's it. About freaking time, Ghost! Do something! I throw my hands around it and start sliding down. Although the metal rungs around the pipe are grinding past my hands, Ghost shields me from the pain. The beam is less than a meter above my head and I'm still 3 stories from the ground. There's no way I can get to street level before becoming chunk. So I switch to plan B. Okay, fuck, who am I kidding? I don't have plans. I snatch the reins from Ghost and kick off the wall. I crash straight through some window. Once again.
I got no fucking idea what's inside.
Once again.
Judging from my luck, probably something waiting to kill me.
Oh, that's okay. That hasn't happened today at all, has it?